Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if you found me off of YouTube, welcome. I'm so glad that you have. Make sure that you are subscribed, and there is a subscribe button just down here. And that way you'll get notified every time that a video goes live or if I have premiered a video at that time. So welcome. This is a recorded tape, and today what I'm going to do is I am doing an accordion pocket fold card. It's a fancy fold card, but it's also going to be using the Regency Park. So without any further ado, I'm just going to head on down to my desktop here. So this is the suite. This is in the J to A mini catalog. We're going to be using lots of stuff from this particular suite, but we are also, I can't locate my Milky Dots, but for this particular one, no worries. I'm going to use something else from the mini catalog. This has two bundles in it. It has this petal part with a punch, and then it also has a sentimental part, which has dies and beautiful, fantastic sayings and everything else that are in there. So we're going to do this pocket fold accordion fold pocket card. So we are going to need a trimmer because I'm going to go through everything step by step on this particular card. I think it's really important that you see certain things and my thought process that goes along with it. Now I have done a template with this, and this is the template here. And basically I will put this into my Stampin' with Diane stamping group. There will be a link that's down below here with the stamping group, with the stamping group, that I will put this link to this template that's in there. So I do have a piece of, this is the thick basic white. Always when you're doing a card base, you should always use the thick white or any cardstock, but if you're using white, use the thick basic white. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And basically, see, it goes this way. Like I say, it's 5.5 by 11, and on the long end side, and I'm going to have to pull this out. I am going to go ahead and I am going to score at 4 1/4. And you know, I'm not going to get that great of a score line, so I want to show you something that you can use. I really like, for my take your pick tool, I like my my styluses. So I'm just actually taking the brush off, the brush end off. And then I've got this part here. And then what I'm going to do is I am coming in with my thick stylus. Oops, that's not the end I wanted to take off. My goodness, I know better than that. I'm going to use the thick stylus. And you know what? Before I lose it, I'm going to put that brush back in there, because it's so easy to lose things like this. And then what I can do is, actually, I have to use a smaller end of the stylus. So if you do happen to lose that scoring blade that's there, you can actually use your stylus from your take your pick. So I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going in there, scoring 4 1/4. Then we're going to slide along and score it at 5 1/2. And then at 6 3/4. Just want to make sure that that's good and scored there. And just doing that again like that. And what that does do is that gives us really good score lines on there. I find sometimes this scoring blade doesn't give enough. And this is the thick, so it's even heavier than our regular cardstock. So, all right. So there's that. And then what we're going to do is, so this part here is 4 1/4 as well. Yes. Okay, so let's go in, and I'm going to need this to cut some different ones. So what I'm going to first of all do is go in with my bone folder, and let's get this scored. So we're going to get really good score lines going there. And this is where I'm getting the accordion fold here. And then we're going to just fold this back on itself. And see what happens is it comes like this and folds out. But before we do this, we're going to have to do some different cutting on this particular one. On this template, it does show you to cut from right down to here. This is going to be the base of the card. This is the front of the card. So I'm taking it from this corner right here on the score, and I'm going to cut right down to there. So let's go from there, and you can just line it right up to the track. Bring it down to the track that's down here, and then go back and check to make sure. And then we're going to cut this. Now, a lot of times you might get, if your blade is on the dull side, start in the middle, go one way and go the other way. And what happens there is you don't get that rough edge. Now we're going to keep this part because we're going to use it for the inside part of the card. Now, this Regency Park has some amazing designer series paper in it. So I've got a bunch of stuff cut here. So I was thinking this is cut 4 by 5 1/4. So that is actually going to go onto my back piece here. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to have this piece onto the front. So let's go ahead and just put that right on there. Now I'm thinking that's going to be okay. Yes, I know it will be. Like I say, doing this card on the fly. I've done one of these before. I've done another video with it. Found some different things that work better. So that's why I'm doing another video on it. If you like this, make sure that you give me the thumbs up. Share my video. That's one of the best forms of a compliment that you can give. Now, why I'd like to not have this pre-cut ahead of time is because then at that point I can turn around and I can then figure out which way this goes, and then I can cut from there. Now, this designer series paper doesn't have really good corresponding papers with it, so we're going to be using different parts of it. So I'm thinking that, yes, this will go good on the front. So I'm going to cut from my left side down to my right side. And I'll keep bringing that in because it's so important that we just do it a little bit at a time. Now, if you're mass producing, you already know. Now, remember what I said, and this is especially true with designer series paper. Start in the middle and go both ways. Just put that off to the one side there. And this is going to go here. Now, on the inside parts, I thought I'd cut this paper, or I wasn't sure whether or not if I wanted to have this paper. So I'm not sure if I wanted to go this route or the other route there. But let's see what we're going to put on this inside. Now that's where I thought it might be good to go and put this piece on the inside, where it would go there. And if that's the case, then probably it's best to put the blue on here. So let's just double check. Let's cut this first. So we're going to cut from the right to the left. This doesn't have directional. These aren't directional papers, but if you are going on directional papers, you're definitely going to want to do it this way. So we're going from the right to the left, lining this up in the tracks there. I'm going to bring my cutting blade into the middle and cut both ways. You say I could probably get away with doing this, but see, this is going to go here. So this is going on the outside. This is going on the inside. Now, if I put this here, that's going to kind of look the same. I'm wondering if maybe I could even have cut some of this off. Let's just put this onto the front and put that on the inside and then decide how we're going to do this. Because I think this would be great going there, but would this look okay with it being double and, you know, in the inside? I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't. I'm going to want to keep it both the same. mean, I probably could go in with a totally different designer series paper from this pack. This is a pack. It's 48 sheets of 6x6 paper. Go right there. And then this can go onto the front. This one. And then if you wanted to do the same card, you could go ahead and use the opposite sides of this and this. But I really think this blue will be really nice on the front here. Now, I guess we could have left that there, but I'll show you the other pieces of designer series paper. So I guess we could have really gone like this. Tell me, let's see. Do it like this. Be a piece in there. You know what? That might even work. So let me just cut these pieces off. They are 1 inch. So I'm just going to come over here and cut that the 1 inch. These inside pieces are 1 inch by 5 1/4. This is actually going to be going on a blog post. And the blog post will be today's date, which is January the 18th. So if you want to go back in and check that, the measurements, they'll be there. So these pieces are 5 1/4. So let's just see how that works. Sometimes, like I say, I don't know how I want to do something until I start doing it. You know what? That might be really nice contrast right there. Yeah, I think we're going to use that. And see how the back pieces, unfortunately, don't really correspond with the front. Or I guess, so that's the reason why I have to use 3 different types of designer series paper on this particular card. Say this is a longer video because I am making sure that you understand all this. Now, originally, I was going to go ahead and put magnets in here, but honestly, the magnets are not helping you, because if you put a magnet where it's going to keep these two closed, this is going to flap. So to me, if we just come in and get a really good crease line on there, and this is going to stand. Oops, we want to move that just a bit. There we go. Now, this piece here is going to go on here. Now, I've cut that, so it has that cut line. So that's why I used that bone folder, just to take that cut line off. And then this is just going to go along here. Now, I'm going to use tear and tape along there and along there. Here's my tear and tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and I'm going to just have this go up to there, and then across here. Right to there. And then we're going to come in with our Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to take this part here, and then this is overlapping, so I can just fold it back on itself, right like that. And then that is just going to go on here, just like that. And then we could leave it white. We could definitely leave it white. That's what gives us the pocket there. Or we could turn around and we could put the balmy blue on there. And that just might be a little bit too much. The white might just be a really good cut in the color. Now, I also cut out 3 of these tags from the from the tailored tags. And I didn't know whether or not if I should use navy and white in there. I could actually use navy and this in there. This could be something that could add some extra notes. I think with leaving that white, I think I'm going to leave these two like this. I'm not going to put anything on there at this point, but I'm going to come in with my, this is the navy edged ribbon that is in the suite as well. I'm just going to go in and put that in there. And you know, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this essential twine, baker's twine. Love the colors that are in there. I already have one that's open here. And I'm just going to cut some of this off. And then we're just going to tie around there. So let me just cut this off. And then I'm just going to tie around here. And you know what? I don't know if I gave myself enough room because I'm thinking to myself, I'd like to tie a bow in this twine. So let's see if I can tie it at. Probably don't have enough there. But let's see what I can do. Yep, that'll work. So I'm just going to come and just pull this down. The secret to tying bows is always to make sure everything is really, really tight. And by it tight, it should not come apart. You could always use a glue dot to also cut it together. So let's just put this here and another one there. And then this is just going to go in there. So just like that. You know what? I think I can do it like that. So I'm just going to come in with a bit of seal and hold that down. And then here is where we could do our writing on there. All right, so we have this like this. Now we need to decorate the front of it. So I have this stitched shape, stylish shape circle, the largest one. I also have some stylish shapes. I've got the banners on here because we'll decide what we're going to do. But in that petal park, there's this two-step stamping. So I'm going to use these flowers and this leaf thing on this circle. And then basically what I'm going to do is we're going to also get some flowers out of that as well. So the colors I thought that went quite well together with this, even though there is hardly any green on this particular one. It's funny because they've got their leaves actually in this thing. They've got it in navy. Their leaves are in navy, but I'm actually going to do my leaves in soft succulent. And like I say, this is a two-step stamp thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down there. Don't you just love it when you've got a punch, right? So I'm going to come in and do my two-step stamping with this. Now, there's a certain way to line it up. You should just take the time to line it up, or you could use your Stamparatus. Would have been really good to line this up as well. I'm only doing one, and by doing one, I don't usually line up again. So let's see. Hopefully I got that right. It's pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the flowers. And I have the flowers here, and I've got them also, it's a two-step. And this also has a punch that goes with it in this bundle. So what I always do is I make sure that I know which way my punch goes. So I'm going to go with this in the dark navy, or the darker blue. So Night of Navy, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do the outline in Night of Navy, and it's kind of like the flowers that are there. Now this, when I put this down, is going to punch this way. So that's why I want the punch this there. And I think I might even need 2 lots of flowers. Just like that. And then we're going to use the balmy blue on there as well. So we're just going to two-step stamp that to do it off to this one side. Like so. And this one here. And they kind of look like the flowers that are in that designer series paper, right? So I'm just going to go and just going to punch this out. Just want to make sure it's lined up. Once I've got it where I want it, I squeeze it down, and then I pop from the bottom up because I like to see where it's coming from. So again, we'll do that. I rest my hands on the table when I'm doing this. There we go. So let's see how that's going to turn out. All right, so this is going to go on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to position these flowers on here. And I'm going to put them up with dimensionals and that sort of stuff. There's a little one here. All right, so let's go ahead and just glue that. I kind of know where those are going now. Now, these show where some of these are going to go, but I'm going to kind of do this my own way. At this point, I want some to be popped up. I want some to be glued down, some to be half popped up, and some to be half popped down. Come here. So I'm also going to use my mini dimensionals. Because I only want part of this one to be popped up. So just one side of it. I'll come in with my glue and do this. Just like that. Let's put this there. And I think let's pop that one up as well. Be popped up and popped down, and see how it kind of, you can get it going where you want it to go. So let's go ahead and put that there, and we're just going to pop up part of that as well. And that has 2, 4, 5 flowers on it. There were 6 that were punched out, but I think this is going to be enough on here. There. Now this, like I say, can go right here. Now what we want to do too is, I think, you know what, I'm wondering if maybe we should even have more flowers. I'm not going to notice too much. Okay, so I'm coming in with this ribbon, and I'm going to tie it in a bow. This ties such nice bows, this particular ribbon. And I want it to have longer tags. So this is going to go here. And we also want to put a sentiment across there. And I think at this point, I could go ahead, and there are some of these ones here. So let me go and take, let's see, this would be one, and the inside. And then I'm thinking with the words, let's do a thanks. My goodness, where is it? Where is my thanks stamp? Oh, there it is. I always worry when I play with my stamps in a different location, because this I was doing in Winnipeg. All right, so let's go ahead and put thanks in. Now, when you have a photopolymer, somebody actually said this to me, just let it lie down flat and let it relax and then pick it up, especially with sentiments, because if you don't, you will never get them straight if you try to put them on. All right, so let's put this thanks towards the end there. And then this has that, I gotta get another block here. And we can put the outline, or you know what? I do have a couple of these that I did stamp ahead of time. So this could go like here. Let's do that instead of stamping those. All right. So this is going to go on here. We're going to put this up here, and we're going to put this down in here. So we've got this. We can glue this on. It's going to go onto here. So we're just going to glue that. And it's going to be free flowing because it is going to be off of the paper. So it's just going to go like that. Let's put this bow on there. And you know what? I think we could also do something with a little bit more of this. So I could turn around and take some of that white twine. And let's, oh, I'm not sure if that's enough. Just want to kind of put that on there so that it's behind. So let's go ahead, and I know that that's going to be part down there. So I'm going to come in with my seal. That's going to go on there. So I'm just going to come up with this. Just going to loop it. And I'm not sure if that's enough there. So when you stamp on the fly, some things happen that you just don't want to happen, but let's put a bit more of that on there. I think it just sort of adds a bit to it, so. Let's go like that, and then let's bring that down so that there's an open edge there. So let's see how that looks. A little too much of a loop there. And same with it there. Big loops. Okay. So then let's use our dimensionals, because we're going to put those on with dimensionals onto the front of this card. Now these dimensionals are also going to hold work to hold down this twine. I've got a real rat's nest going here. So like I say, that's going to go like that. Okay, let's use our take your pick tool and take off those backs. just going to go there. Whoops. And we're going to go ahead and put another flower down in here too, or maybe over here. There we go. I probably could go and put a few more of those flowers on there and make it look like a real bouquet. And I think I have a couple of those sitting here, so let's do another one down in there. And that, or there, or off the paper, or not at all. All right, I'm just going to put a bit of glue on that. And there we go there. All right, now the glossy, milky glossy dots would be perfect for this. But unfortunately, I don't have them with me here. I cannot locate them. I do not know where they went to. So there's these essential enamel dots. And these are actually, they look black, but they're actually a navy. So I'm going to use those. I could have used the white. Let's see what the white would look really nice on here too. Let's use the white here. Just like that. And there's my fancy fold card. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, that uses the Regency Park. It has the 2 bundles in there. It has the beautiful designer series paper, and it has dots on it. It's got some other fancy paper. It's amazing paper. So there's the Accordion Pocket Fold Card. We can sit and put some different pockets in there, make it fun. I could have gone ahead and put the blue in here, but I think this is where I'm going to put another sentiment. Thanks for everything, for all the wonderful things that you do. Something I can put in there depending on who the person is that I'm sending it to. So I hope you enjoyed that. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube. You can do that right down here. This template for this will be in my Stamping with Diane Stampers group. Excuse me. And also, if you do live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to work with you. In any event, have a great day. Bye for now.